French spy arrested in Mali. France now says they must free him immediately, or else what? Are they gonna go bomb Mali, destroy the country? Are they gonna send troops like in the movies to go and free this French man? We're gonna find out about this. Yes, fellas, it was a pleasure to have you. This is an interesting edition today, and I am glad to have you here with me. Now, this is Mali, you see on the map. I'm sure you know Mali by now, we've spoken about them many times. Something crazy is happening in Mali right now. The French government has said you better free that Frenchman or else. This Frenchman is very interesting because he's been accused of spying against the government of Mali. A couple of days ago, Malian authorities arrested about 55 military elements who were preparing a coup against the current government. And amongst them, this Frenchman was arrested.
Thanks to the professionalism and vigilance of the specialized services, the conspiracy was thwarted, followed by the arrest of the actors on August 1st, 2025. Among those apprehended was a French national named Vasily Uryan, acting on behalf of the French intelligence service.
And now France say you must return him immediately. Let's find out about this. The Malian government announced the arrest of several military personnel, including 2 generals, as well as a French national named Yann Vélizier. He was accused of participating in an attempt to destabilize the Malian government. According to authorities, the Frenchman allegedly acted on behalf of the French intelligence service, seeking to mobilize political, social, and military actors against the current government. You know, spies get shot, they get unalived bad, like trash. You know, they killed immediately. If you watch histories of wars, spies are the first one to go very quickly. Does France should even have the guts to ask for the return of this man? We're gonna find out about this. The French Ministry of Foreign Affairs firmly rejected the accusation against Mr. Vélizier, calling them baseless. So Paris clarified that Vélizier is a diplomatic officer accredited to the French embassy in Bamako and is therefore protected by diplomatic immunity under the Vienna Convention. So the French have said this guy is not a spy. He's working as a diplomat for the diplomatic body of France in Mali. Just remember here, Mali and France are not getting along at all, but France still has an embassy in Mali that's functional. Now the French have told the Malians to free this person or else what? Are they going to bomb the country? Are they going to destroy the people? Are they going to bully them around? I mean, after all, it's just a little African black people country. Are they strong to fight us? Is this going to be an opportunity to get things back within the avenues of France? Is this the first time an African country arrests a French national accusing him of spying? Well, let's find out. In 2024, a former French soldier who had become security advisor for an Australian mining company was arrested in Ouagadougou. I mean, the guy is a former soldier but became an advisor to an Australian mining company. He was arrested over espionage after security-related data was found in his electronic devices. So security-related data was found in his stuff. So basically, they said he was collecting data about positioning, military, very crucial element of the brand new government, and was sending it away. Well, number 2 was in Burkina Faso. In December 2023, 4 French nationals with diplomatic visas were arrested in Ouagadougou, accused of espionage. France denied these allegations, stating they were just technicians, assigned to an IT maintenance task, while they accused them of being spies. Not just spies, but very advanced spy in terms of technology. They were trying to access data. What data? Now, France said they're just IT guys. They're not spies at all. The diplomatic standoff lasted nearly a year until they were released in December 2024, facilitated through Moroccan mediation. So it was very hard at the time. Burkina Faso stood very strong. You can't be having spies in our country and expect them to go back alive. No, it's not going to happen. Well, luckily for these guys, the Moroccans intervened. They came and spoke to the Burkinabe government, and the Burkinabe government freed these French people. Well, there was another incident in Mali. Well, Mali can only be skeptical, fellas. Not longer than August 2022, the Malian government, through its representative, accused France of equipping terrorists. Besides equipping terrorists, they accused France of serious violation, including violating the Malian airspace.
Still within this security chapter, Mr. President, it is also surprising that in the context of the factual account, the Secretary General's report remained silent on Mali's referral to the Security Council on August 15, 2022, regarding attempts at destabilization and repeated violations of its airspace by French forces.
So Bamako said Paris was sending helicopters and drones and stuff to go and see what's happening, in the Malian government and take the report back to the terrorists. I know it's crazy stuff. We're going to talk about this. So for context, this is Mali on the map. As you can see, once more, Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger. These three countries have been fighting very hard and very differently from most African nations right now. They're all led by military leaders. How did they get in power? Well, through coup d'etats. Why? Because they were tired of their president. Now, why were they tired of their president? Because their president had an alliance with France. Basically, they loved France more than they loved the people. And they will make sure that they will look after France's interest in the country, make sure they have the best business, the best opportunities. Meanwhile, there was no decent hospitals, no water for the people, no electricity, no jobs, no opportunities. So the members of the army of the three countries say enough is enough. We don't want this anymore. France colonized all these countries, yes, but it's about time the country move forward by themselves. It's about time they profit the people and not the foreign investors. So these three military people overthrew their countries, respective countries, and they became president. And now Mali particularly has a very distasteful relationship with France because France was not happy when Mali asked them to leave. French soldiers came to Mali many years ago to supposedly help Mali fight terrorists. But then it came a time when Malians say, you know what, you've been here for a long time, but things are not changing. The terrorists are not dying. At least they die, we see them again. They're much better equipped than they were before. What has occurred? We don't understand. And then they got intelligence saying that it feels like the French are actually giving these people intelligence services. Let me put it this way for you. France was fighting alongside Malian government soldiers against the terrorists. But there were towns where only the French could go, not the Malians. In Mali, imagine that. So you supposedly in my country to help me fight terrorists, but there are towns only your people can go, I cannot go. Why? What's happening in those towns? Who are you talking to? Who are you meeting? Now, it came a time Mali said enough is enough. You get your stuff and get out of here. We don't want you here no more. They resisted, but they eventually left. Now, some people say that France perhaps created themselves these terrorists so they can then say to you, listen, I can fight them for you. So you pay them for fighting the terrorists, and in the meantime, they're creating the mayhem. Well, they were being paid millions of dollars per day. People talk about 20 millions per day. Some people talk about more. That is a lot of money to invest in a country and get jobs and opportunities and many other things that people should refrain from spending to a country that not necessarily your friends. It doesn't make sense. Mali has been through many coup attempts since the brand new government is in place. The brand new government that seemed to be pushing the country forward. Now, a few days ago, they arrested many soldiers that were supposedly preparing a coup. And amongst them, there was this Frenchman. Now, France said they must free them or else. Now, what would happen if they don't get freed? If he's not released, the first thing will be a diplomatic crisis between the two countries. A refusal of releasing Mr. Vélizier could ignite tension to the next level. What we could be seeing is expulsion of diplomats from both sides. The French could perhaps recall the ambassador, from Mali and say, come back home, and urge that the ambassador of Mali to go back to their country. Now, what if this man is not a spy? What if Vélizier is not a spy? What would happen? Then Mali would be in direct violation of international laws, which is the violation of the 1961 Vienna Convention, which prohibits the arrest or detention of a diplomat. Diplomats have immunity. You cannot arrest a diplomat for no reason. There's under no reason you will do that. Okay, it's very risky. You cannot do it. Now, if this man happened to be a diplomat, then that would be a big violation, and that could trigger international condemnation from the United Nations. And again, a break of relation with many European countries. You must remember, now, if you have a beef with one European country, the other European countries will always take their side. As a foreign nation, you have no chance. So Mali's relationship with any other European country will be cut immediately. However, if Mali could prove that Vélizier is indeed a spy on that, well, then that's going to be another story. So what's the other option that can happen? Well, in case of a stalemate in this situation, we could bring in, perhaps Morocco. Morocco's been there before. Morocco has negotiated, mediated issues between Burkina Faso and France before. So maybe Morocco could come forward and be the middleman in this situation. Well, is France really sending spies in these countries? It's a possibility because we've seen cases and situations and accusations in the past. And in most cases, these people were freed. Even though we know spies in most cases face the death penalty. Now, why could France do this? Some people will argue that France is angry at the fact that these three countries finally decide to part ways from them, after everything that happened in the past. We're not forgetting what happened between colonialism and many other things. To be honest with you, France did many, many negative things to Africans. Unfortunately, I'm not saying this. History tells you that. Just imagine in World War II, France had countries in Africa where they recruited the African men to go fight their war for them. The war wasn't an African war. They talk about World War II. It's not World War II, it's European war. Africans were no part of that. But France recruited people in countries like Senegal to take them to France to go fight on behalf of France, promising them, beautiful life, a nationality, a passport, insurance, and many other things. You're going to get paid if you fight for France. They went there bravely. Unfortunately, some of them went into war with no shoes. Some people say the Africans refused to wear shoes during winter. Some people say no, they refused to give them shoes. I don't know which version is true. Did the Africans refuse to wear shoes during winter at the World War II? Or did the French say, no, we don't have as much shoes for everybody? Well, they fought very brilliantly. They fought next to the French, pushing the Germans back. They took back Paris from the Germans. But a matter of fact, the day France troops walked back into Paris, General de Gaulle, this man right here, the instigator of everything, made sure that no black face was shown. You must make sure no French citizens should believe that a black man freed them. You can never do that. At the end of the war, what's happened to many Africans? Those tirailleurs Senegalese. Many didn't even get the nationalities they were supposed to get. The citizenship and the money they were promised, nothing. Some of them were taken to a different place. That's where they got shot. I mean, these people fought for you. After the war, instead of paying them, you take them, you go shoot them. Well, I'm not inventing. You can check on Google. These are stories we see in the past. I mean, Algeria. This is Algeria right here. They have major beef with France right now. Algeria has decided to move away from French language, even though French has been the office language, just like English for Kenyan, Ugandans, and South Africans. They say, we don't want nothing to do with you anymore. Now they're going to talk only Arabic on their documentation, administrative things, Arabic and English. It used to be Arabic and French. They've removed French now because they have issues. Many things happening right now. Let me know how you feel about this. Do you think France will go to Mali and bombard because of this man that is accused of spying? Do you think this man is a spy? Or do you think he's just a diplomatic person that's confused and it's a lie? Again, fellas, YouTube say a lot of you guys watch videos, but you're not subscribed, and I don't know why you're not subscribed. Let me know. Please subscribe if it's not done yet, and I hope to see you again very soon on the next video. God bless.